Welcome to Mindful Chatting, a podcast where therapy meets real life. I'm Kristen, a therapist, business owner, and a lifelong student of what it means to fully show up in our relationships, in our work, and in our healing. Here, we unpack mental health concepts, explore mindfulness tools, and talk through the messy, beautiful, in-between moments that shape us. Whether you're a fellow clinician, a curious listener, or someone navigating your own growth, this space is for you. Let's chat. Hey friend, welcome back to Mindful Chatting. I'm Kristen, a therapist, doctoral student, and your guide through the messy, layered realities of living with ADHD. Before we start, let's get comfy, grab your warm drink, your favorite blanket, or even just a pause. Let's take a deep breath. This is your space. Today's episode is called Quietly Disconnected, why inattentive versus those hyperactive ADHD feels different in friendships. And here's how we're going to walk through it. We're going to talk about the phenomenon. We're going to define how it shows up and what it looks like. What does the research say about it? And what I'm finding in my own dissertation. And finally, what this means for you in real life. Let's go. So ADHD doesn't show up the same for everyone. In friendships, it can feel widely different depending on whether your ADHD leans more in that inattentive type or hyperactive, or really a mixture of both. And the loneliness and rejection may feel similar, but the flavor of that disconnection is unique. So let's define first, what is inattentive ADHD? And this is the one that's often overlooked. You might be quiet, distracted, or zoning out in social settings, and friends assume you're fine, but inside you may feel invisible. You're the one people kind of forget to invite, or they think you're aloof when really your mind is just elsewhere. Hyperactive ADHD is the often misunderstood. You're expressive, animated, and maybe sometimes too much for certain groups. And friends might love your energy at first, but sometimes they pull back and you may feel rejected, not because you were forgotten, but because you were too much. And both leave you feeling disconnected, but they're both opposite on the extremes. And that's why it can feel so weird sometimes. But let's talk about what the literature and the research says. Girls with ADHD are often missed, especially the inattentive types. And research shows that they're less likely to be flagged in school, meaning they carry struggles silently for years. And this invisible feeds the loneliness. And hyperactive presentations face rejection earlier. Peers label them as too loud, too impulsive, or too much. And this creates a cycle of social exclusion right from the very beginning. So adult friendships are deeply impacted. Inattentive women underfunction in connection, while hyperactive women overfunction to prove their worth. And the literature is clear. Both groups are at risk for loneliness, but in different ways. So in my dissertation, I wanted to look at how symptom presentation, the inattentive and the hyperactive, tie to loneliness and social disconnection. And here's what I found. Inattentive women scored higher on disconnection, confirming the quiet, invisible loneliness that we feel. But hyperactive women's scores were also elevated, though not as significantly higher than inattentive. But here's what that means. Even if differences weren't statistically significant, the lived experience is real. It shows up differently, invisibility versus rejection, but the pain is valid in both of them. So here's some other things that we could be at play what's going on. Masking. Inattentive women may mask by appearing put together, so they struggle to go unnoticed. And if we've been doing masking for a really long time, we sometimes forget when we're actually doing it. There's also a thing called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD, and hyperactive women may experience feedback more intensely, which amplifies this fear of rejection. We also can think about trauma or family dynamics. If we've had past invalidation, that may shape how each of those subtypes process disconnection in the future as adults. And we also have to think about the quality of our relationships. Having one safe person can actually buffer loneliness more than our scores reveal. So let's step back. What does this mean for you? It means if you're inattentive and you feel invisible, it's not because you're unworthy. And if you're hyperactive and feel rejected, it's not because you're too much. Both are valid expressions of how ADHD intersects with friendship. Your brain's wiring shapes how you're seen, but it doesn't define your value in relationships. So, inattentive, hyperactive, or both, loneliness can hit in different ways, but the root is the same: wanting to be seen, accepted, and valued. One more thing before you go, and this helps me personally, staying present and grounded, which we all need, especially when your brain wants to spiral into disconnection. Me too. It's Brain FM. It's musically designed to help ADHD brains, well, really anyone's brain, focus, relax, or sleep, and I use it almost daily. If you want to try it, I've dropped my link in the show notes. And if you're looking for planning tools or ADHD-friendly resources, I'll keep a list of my favorite links in every episode. So before you go, your story may look different from somebody else's who has ADHD, but the ache of disconnection is a shared experience, and you're not invisible, and you're not too much. I want to thank you for being here today. Until next time, remember, whether you're quiet or too much, you're worthy of connection. And as always, be gentle to your mind.